Greetings, sales savages. It is I, Corp Daddy, Corp Dizzle, Corprate, if you hablo de Espanol. I'm in Los Angeles right now, so this is Creme de la Corp LA edition. That's why I'm wearing this V-neck. You can see the chest hair. You can see the Jew inside me creeping out. I'm trendy. I'm trying to be trendy out here. But I don't have a second monitor today, so I am going to be scrolling back and forth. For those who are new here, the Creme de la Corp is where I get 5 War Room posts that I see for the first time, and I offer my unfiltered commentary on said posts. So let's dive on in, shall we? Hope everyone's having a great week. How do you deal with a decision maker passing the buck to a weak champion? Curious to see how you guys deal with situations where you get in touch with a confirmed DM, but they end up directing you to some peasant. Okay. Do you either proceed with the weak champion, try your best to turn them into a strong champion? Do you have the initial first calls with the champion, then attempt to loop in the decision maker, or do you gently fight the decision maker on why they don't want to talk to you directly? If you're asking me personally, I'm always going to gently push back. Maybe not even so gently, say something like, in my experience, when someone who's responsible for making this kind of decision pushes it off to someone else, we end up going down a rabbit hole where nothing gets done, and we end up wasting a bunch of time on both of our sides. And then I sit there and I be quiet and I listen to hear what they say. Let's see what the people say. Let's see. WCK says, in my world, 9 times out of 10, it's a smokescreen. Pivot with a little value and stress that you don't want to waste anyone's time. Anything get lost in translation. I'd rather explain it to someone in person with intimate experience with our system versus have me explain to someone who's then going to explain to you, and then we have to schedule another meeting, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, little gentle pushback, never hurt nobody. Unless, of course, you're an SDR and you're like, God damn it, please take that meeting for me, AE. Just shot on goal and qualify that shit. In which case, if my SDR is pretty close to quota, I'm finna go to bat, make sure they get paid. The next one, is cold calling during a final interview normal? I will say I interviewed at a company that is now owned by Demand Force. It was one of my first few interviews. After playing baseball, I had no sales experience. I was trying to get a sales job for some reason. And I had to make a cold call at the end of my interview. And it was just a cold call to someone else in the office. But I had no sales experience. So I crashed and burned, and there was so much fire, and my body parts were strewn all over the place, and they couldn't even recognize me with dental records. It was totally fucked. I did not get that job. In fact, I sat in the parking lot and had what would be the first of many solid, ugly cries. Weeps, really. I was really weeping more than anything else. Anyway, I bounced back really quickly, like 2-3 weeks. But this person says, I just found out they would have, after I do my presentation, then I would do 3 hours of cold calling, and I would need to get 3 meetings booked. I have no idea if I would even get to keep those people in my new pipeline, but considering I don't work for them yet, this feels weird. Yeah, that feels weird. 3 hours? They want you to cold call for 3 hours, product you don't even know? Do you get paid if you set those meetings? Do you get paid if those deals close? What? Free work? No, that's not normal. That's dumb. That's stupid. I would run. I've never heard of that. Making like a mock cold call or a mock presentation? Yeah, sure. Dialing for them for 3 hours? Yeah. Nah, brah. Nah. Okay, here we go. Number 3, hiring managers. What's the worst thing you've seen on a candidate's resume? Should be interesting. I have not really spent a lot of time hiring. I'm certainly not a recruiter, as you can tell. And let's see here. The first one. Ooh, this one's got a lot of upvotes from Big Cheese. Okay. This one says, oh, let's go. Very excited about this thread. I have so many stories. Great. For starters, last week I had a resume come through that had a link to the dude's LinkedIn. Naturally, I clicked it. Link was a hyperlink that took me to a video of him getting... Wow. I'm going to paraphrase because I can't read this directly. I guess the link took the person... It was supposed to be a LinkedIn link. It took them to a video of the candidate receiving what can only be described as oral pleasures. And then the caption said, quote, no one will hire you now, Jared. And the dude's name was Jared. And the finish, it goes on to say, I can only assume this was a vid of him cheating and his significant other put a hyperlink in his resume without his knowledge. Pure savagery. I did not call Jared. J-Bone. Not J-Bone's finest moment. Yikes. Big yikes. I kind of want to see proof, just to make sure this is a true story, more than anything. Okay, another top comment in here says, had an ex-Army infantry guy apply. It was legit his first job, super professional looking resume, except under skills he put, quote, manage a surprise ambush and assault. I, of course, interviewed him and hired him after he drew on a piece of paper how to ambush and properly flank the enemy. Skills you do need in sales. How to properly flank the enemy and ambush them, especially decision makers. Ambush decision makers. Okay, I'm going to move on now. How do you note you played college athletics on your resume without being a giant douche? Yikes. Well, mine's all over my resume, so. But I know I'm a douche. I'm very self-aware. I know that. I lean in super hard. I mean, fucking created an account called Corporate Bro. I need to drop the bro name at some point, though. That's probably coming soon. Just a bullet point under my education that's easily missed. Any one of my ex-athletes out there have good advice on how to emphasize athletic experience? Patty says, I don't think that's something you want to downplay. I'd highlight that shit if I were you. It's a solid talking point, makes you stand out. Oh, let's be honest, dude. And then it says, just embrace being a douche. Just embrace being a douche, dude. Douche, dude. Dude, douche. It's fine. I mean, like, people who have athletic experience, it directly translate to sales because it's process-oriented and you can deal with adversity because there's a lot of that shit in sales. It's also like, sales is kind of a team sport, but it's also a very individual sport, just like sports, just like most sports in general, right? You got to pull your own weight if the team's going to win. And also, if the team doesn't win and you ball out, you still feel sick as fuck. So lean in, my man. My man. I was going to say my guy, and it turned into my man. I don't know what happened there. That's why we don't re-record these. All right, we let them ride. All right, the last one. Quote, how the hell are you still here? In honor of my coworker getting fired for calling the same few dead numbers daily and staying on hold for 30 plus minutes at a time to boost his KPIs, I have to ask the crew, what are some of the dumbest, wildest, stupidest shit you've seen a coworker or superior do or get caught doing and yet survived and kept their job with little to no punishment? Let's read this first one. Oh God, it's a friggin' novel. I'm gonna try and paraphrase this as I read this. Okay, I had a coworker. Let's call him Stump. Stump was short. He had a waddle and was like 45 years old as a rookie in sales. Life wasn't going his way. Problem was, he was fantastic. He was friendly, funny, supernatural, blah, 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 blah. His first call rapport was never anything but perfect. Problem was, our CEO used to walk around the sales floor listening to calls and trying to offer suggestions. He'd say, do this, do that. Stump didn't appreciate when the CEO would do that. One day on a call, CEO was trying to give Stump some feedback, and Stump yelled, would you shut the fuck up? I can't hear the fucking customer. Baller. Everyone stopped what they were doing, turned at breakneck speed. CEO turned red as a rocket and yelled, if you ever speak to me like that again, you're fucking fired, and then walked away. Stump got the sale for $600 and now operates his own food truck somewhere in Florida. Good for Stump. Yeah, I will say for me, there was a woman on my team who straight up stopped coming to work, and I'm pretty sure she was on Oracle's payroll for like 2 years. Like, just didn't show up anymore. In fact, she like was in the army and like got deployed. And like, she like technically was not an employee, but she was in the system. So Oracle just kept paying that shit out. You know, Oracle, what are you gonna do? Anything else in here? Blah, 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 blah. Another paragraph. Look, I'm not gonna keep you guys any longer. You've been here long enough. So thank you for watching this edition of Creme de la Corp LA. I hope you like my chest hair. It's tight or whatever. And I will see you all next time. Same place, the internet. So, okay, bye.